Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into an idea the source material really highlights as transformative, cultivating a growth mindset.
Yeah, based on psychologist Carol Dweck's work and the research you've shared, it sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful.
It really is. It's this core belief that your abilities, your intelligence, they aren't fixed traits you're just stuck with.
Exactly. It's the idea that you can actually develop them through effort, good strategies, getting help.
Which is just the opposite of that fixed mindset, right?
Yeah,
Where you think your potential is just set in stone.
completely. So our mission here is to unpack what these sources say about how shifting that perspective can genuinely change things for you personally and professionally.
Okay, so let's start with the why. Why is this growth mindset presented as so crucial in these sources?
Well, what jumps out immediately is resilience. The sources really frame it as the foundation for bouncing back. It seems to directly fuel your motivation. So instead of backing away from difficulties, you actually lean in. And it helps you reframe setbacks. Those moments where things go wrong.
Yeah, frustrating ones.
Instead of thinking, see, I'm no good, it's more like, okay, what can I learn here? How can I get better? It's just seeing it as feedback.
That resilience point feels huge. And the sources have actual evidence for this impact, don't they? I remember seeing some studies mentioned.
Oh, absolutely. There's a really compelling one from Stanford's Graduate School of Education.
Okay.
They found students who were taught about the growth mindset actually showed measurable improvements in their grades, and they were more engaged.
Wow, okay. So real-world results.
Definitely. And looking broader, research in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology shows people with this mindset are way more open to feedback.
Even the tough stuff.
Yeah, even critical feedback. They see it as useful information for getting better, not like a personal attack. That openness is so key for learning.
So it's not just about you learning alone. It actually shifts how you interact in, say, a team or a company.
Precisely. The sources mention surveys, like from the American Psychological Association,
Okay.
and they show workplaces that really foster this growth mindset, valuing development, encouraging learning. They see higher productivity
Makes sense.
and better job satisfaction, lower turnover, too. It creates an environment where it's okay to experiment, to try things, to learn, not one where you're penalized for not knowing everything instantly.
Okay, that really paints a picture of the benefits.
Yeah.
But the sources also suggest it's not always easy to stay in that mindset. What pulls us back into the fixed one? What are those triggers?
Yeah, it's definitely not the default for everyone all the time. The sources highlight two big ones. First, just the fear of failure. That anxiety about messing up, it makes us actively avoid challenges sometimes.
Like turning down a cool project because you're worried you won't, nail it right away.
Exactly that. Playing it safe but staying stagnant. That's fear keeping you stuck.
Okay, fear of failure. What's the second one?
Negative self-talk, that inner voice.
Oh, yeah.
The one that says, I'll never be good at this, or what's the point in even trying? That directly chips away at your belief that you can improve. Recognizing those thoughts is step one.
So identifying the triggers fear and self-doubt. What do the sources say about actually building this growth perspective? How do we actively work on it?
They lay out several strategies. First, actively embracing challenges, seeing them as learning opportunities, not just pass-fail tests.
Shifting the view.
Exactly. Then, really crucial, seeking out and learning from feedback. Don't get defensive. Try to look at it objectively, like, okay, what's the data here? What can I use?
Turning feedback into a tool, not a weapon against yourself.
Yes, precisely. Another big one is self-reflection, maybe journaling, maybe just taking time to think through experiences. Where did I learn? Where did that fixed mindset maybe creep in?
Becoming aware.
And setting specific learning goals, not just outcome goals, but asking, what do I need to learn to get there? Deliberately focusing on the skill development.
And is this something you tackle alone? Or does your environment matter?
Oh, environment is key, according to the sources. Engaging with growth-oriented communities helps a lot. Sharing knowledge, getting encouragement.
Like online groups or workshops?
Yeah, or local meetups. Also, finding mentors who already have this mindset, they can offer guidance. And just generally surrounding yourself with positive influences, people who believe you can grow. It reinforces everything.
So when things do get tough, which they will,
Yeah.
how does the growth mindset help you push through that perseverance piece?
It fundamentally changes how you view setbacks. The sources talk about positive reframing.
Sorry.
So consciously changing that internal story from I failed to, okay, what did this experience teach me? You extract the lesson.
Learning from the failure.
Exactly. And perseverance then becomes about sticking with your goals after a stumble, knowing that one setback doesn't define you or your potential.
And all of this seems to power the idea of continuous learning, right?
It's absolutely the engine for it. The sources really stress ongoing learning is vital. It keeps you adaptable.
And that learning can take many forms.
So many forms now. Formal education, sure, but also online courses, workshops, books, even listening to podcasts. Just constantly feeding your curiosity and updating your skills.
And as you're doing all this work, putting in the effort, learning, the sources mention recognizing that progress.
Oh, definitely. Celebrating progress, even small steps, is vital. It reinforces the effort you're putting in and makes the growth mindset stick.
How do you do that practically?
Maybe track improvements in a notebook? Just seeing how far you've come, practicing gratitude for your effort and the help you get, and, rewarding yourself for small wins. It builds that positive loop.
So the big takeaway from these sources really seems to be that embracing a growth mindset isn't like flipping a switch. It's a continuous journey, right? Building resilience, adapting through effort and learning.
Precisely. It's the underlying framework that lets you genuinely learn from everything and keep expanding what you're capable of.
So here's a final thought based on everything we've covered from these sources. If effort truly cultivates ability, how might reframing failure, seeing it not as a final stop sign, but just as a temporary data point, fundamentally change the kinds of challenges you're willing to tackle next? Something for you to mull over as you continue your own deep dive.